3, 2, 1. Welcome. He's like stone cold. You know, I have to leave 20 minutes earlier because of school. Yeah, what do you think, Tron? And we're back.
Yeah. I was never young.
Yeah.
And neither was Chad. Look at him.
They didn't.
If we're going to see pictures of Chad when he was young, we're going to have to go to the cave and check the walls.
This is Chad. This is his papa. And that right there is that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex right there.
His name Fido.
And if you look real close, you can see Jesus back there. Wait so they can go play.
School is in.
Man, I think it was kind of cool that they finally stopped making you guys ride dinosaurs to school.
Mic check. Let's go!
Welcome to Midwest Mayhem. He is Chad Christensen.
Let's go, everyone.
I am Tron Smith, and I'm. You know what, man? Here's a great part about today, right? When you grew up, we're guys, so we grew up. We had all these superheroes we thought was the best, right?
Right.
I mean, who was your favorite superhero?
Elmer Fudd.
Okay, he wasn't a superhero, dude. I mean, what did even Elmer Fudd do?
When cartoons were back in my day, the superheroes were the TV getting turned on, and if it was Bugs Bunny, if it was the Roadrunner, if it was Elmer Fudd, those were my superheroes because I actually got to watch TV a little bit.
Dude, those cartoons were all shot in black and white back then. I'm talking about like real superheroes.
Come on, man.
Avengers, things like that.
Who was yours?
The Incredible Hulk. I mean, is there any other way?
I should have known.
I mean, what kind of question is that, right? I mean, it was the Incredible Hulk. The cool thing about today is I had the Incredible Hulk, but I had Mrs. Foote.
What?
Mrs. Foote was my 4th grade teacher.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Is
here
that
we
crazy?
go.
Yeah, it's like Mrs. Foote. So I'm really excited today because you know what? We're going to have a superhero on our podcast today.
Let's go.
Imagine that, right?
I can't wait.
Better than Superman, better than Spider-Man, probably better than all the Avengers. We're going to do that today. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you this. Without doing this, we probably wouldn't do that at all, right?
Oh, so, I know where you're going.
Right. We always got to take this time. We got to thank our sponsors. Make sure we do that. Wilson Toyota, 2212 South Duff Avenue, just a short drive from anywhere in the metro. And I'm telling you, if you want to come down and hang out and get treated right, I always talk about getting treated right.
You do.
Right? Come right down here, check us out. It's going to be 102 degrees today. So enjoy the indoor showroom. Indoor showroom, water, Coke. Coca-Cola. Can we even say Coca-Cola?
I don't know. We have soft drinks.
Yeah, I don't think you can say Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we have soft
I think
drinks.
I've just said it 5 times.
Water.
Soda pop, right? Yeah. All that inside. So make sure you take the time, check us out on all those great social medias. I gotta look at this. You think I know this by now, right?
I figured you would.
No, it's too much, memory there. On Instagram and Twitter at Wilson of Ames, and if you are a Facebook, TikTok person, you're going to be at Wilson Toyota of Ames. I can't even see that, so that means I remember that.
You did remember.
And if you really want to get the information, you can always get down with the big dog, right? That's at Big Strong, 2 G's when you're as big as I am, and at Big Strong 1 on that Insta chat, right?
I love it.
Big
double G.
So here's a great story, man. So you and I and our wives, beautiful wives, we go out and we try to get together once, twice a month, and
we do.
We try different things and we go out and we explore. Last week?
That's what we're gonna call it, exploring.
That's what I'm gonna stick with it. Come on, don't get us in trouble. We'll beep half this thing out, right? So we go out and I'm pretty sure I cannot say the name of the establishment. But it was a really nice establishment. It's in Ankeny.
I need to get that out there.
I think you can say that.
All right,
we did.
So I don't think so. No. I think if without funding, we don't say your name, right? So we were at an establishment and we met a real life superhero.
We actually did,
right?
We were out just having some fun, and then it turned into like a real situation here, and we had a great conversation, and we realized very, very quickly that this young lady is actually a superhero.
100%, man. I think we need to do a better job in society to really talk about our school teachers, right? You think no matter who you are and what you've accomplished, at some point you came across this major school teacher that changed your life at some point.
Someone that actually cared when you were growing up and you were away from your family, right? And you were out trying to learn and establish yourself, and all of a sudden I have my...
Dude, you were homeschooled.
No,
You never left home.
I was at a school too, man. But I'm going to say, I had people that influenced me, whether it was coaches, teachers, whatever, that helped me get through. And I just remember how much confidence they gave me as a person to just be myself.
Special people, right? Very,
Right.
very special people. We met a very, very special person, Moriah. We're going to bring her on the show today. And you know what? I didn't know I'm going to use the word struggle. I hate to say struggle because it seems, there's a lot of people, but I'm going to use that word for this. The struggle and the challenges that school teachers have every year just to get their classrooms prepared for school.
I was actually shocked. Can I use the word shocked? Because I was shocked.
Yeah, you can say shocked. Say whatever you want, I guess.
Well, I was shocked at the conversation and where it led to. And then I was almost disappointed.
Ooh. Why? I'm curious. You got me.
Well, I'm just going to say disappointed, not in Moriah, but in the system itself, that we are trying to have our children become the next generation and lead and strive. And we can't prepare our teachers the way they need to be prepared to go in and to make themselves successful with the kids. I mean, come on, man.
I like it. I like where you're going with that. So but here's a cool thing. The thing that really, really piqued my interest with Moriah is the opportunity to speak. You meet people. Who would have thought that your school? This is serious. I'm serious. When I was in school, elementary school, I would have never in a million years thought that my teacher left school and went to another job. I just, you know what I mean? Mentally,
Right.
I just thought, man, school teacher, man, that's all we do. They need to focus on teaching kids, and they don't need to go and then go find another job so they can do whatever. So it was direct to and you guys say I don't have feelings, right?
Right.
Direct to the brain. Then
It went right there.
I was like, man, that's not right.
Right.
Right. So, but she's got a great story, and it's a better story than your story. So I'm gonna kick you off.
Here we go again.
Hey, you know what? Do you want to kick me off?
No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to go
You're too
anywhere
big
anyway.
to try to kick
so
off.
But I'm going to kick you off, and I'm going to bring her
All
on
right.
because.
So now,
What is that a drum roll? Hey, I want to introduce my real life in person superhero, right? Moriah Long. You are awesome, right?
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's just such an honor to get to do this and have this conversation with you.
Well, man, 5th grade teacher in the Des Moines area. You think about this. Every single day you get to inspire little people. Can I say little people? I'm almost 6'3". I could say little people.
Elementary school. I think
Right?
so, yeah.
Elementary school. So if you wouldn't mind, just share a little bit. Your story is awesome. I mean, you've actually went and had the opportunity to teach in a lot of cool places. Share that.
Yeah. So after I graduated high school, I really just wanted to go overseas, and I was looking for a way to go spend an extended period of time overseas and see into the culture. And so I found out about au pairing. So for anyone who doesn't know, that's basically where you get to go be an international nanny. And so I lived with this family for 3 months, and I worked with their 10-year-old daughter. And she went to a school where she was learning both in Italian and in English. And so I worked with her a lot on her English. And that was probably the first time that a seed was planted that I like to work with English language learners. And that was a very impactful experience. And actually, when I decided that I wanted to be a teacher, I had always kind of wondered about it through high school, but that was when I officially decided. And so then I actually went to Iowa State for elementary ed and had the amazing privilege of doing my student teaching in Norway. And Norway has one of the best education systems in the world. So that was really neat. I worked with 7th graders, and they let me kind of teach just whatever I wanted. A lot of social studies, a lot of English, and just got to have these really incredible conversations with the kids. They were so bright, and they had a lot of questions about our systems versus their systems, and that was so much fun to get to do. And so then after I graduated, I actually subbed in the Des Moines Public Schools for the spring semester. And then most recently, I got to go spend a month in India. And I traveled to 4 different states there and got to see into the schools. I got to go spend days there, teach the kids, like meet all of the students, the teachers, principals, and see a completely different education system. And so now I'm starting in my first year of full-time teaching starting next week.
That's all. You know what? I told you all that she was a superhero. Who would have thought you can get across the world that quick, right? I mean, that was pretty fast. And, you know, I kind of noticed that you took one of my questions away from me when you were speaking. I was, because I was curious if when you decided you wanted to be a school teacher, was it like always, man, I want to be a school teacher. You know, my daughter's like, I'm going to do this. And she's always been that way. I'm a little different. I'm a little spontaneous. I might be delivering groceries tomorrow. Who knows? But it was kind of neat. But you brought up the schooling systems and the differences. What did you learn in your journey that maybe you can bring back? I mean, this is a conversation that needs to start being had, I think. Is there something that really stands out that makes you go, if we can just do this in our school system, we would be so much better?
Yeah, I would say that I think sometimes that we don't have high enough standards for the kids of what they are actually capable of. And so all of the times, like overseas, and most of these kids start being exposed to a variety of languages at a really young age. And the girl that I was with in Italy, she could speak parts of 5 languages, and she was 10 years old, you know? And I saw that in all of those different countries that I went to. That kids, like if you give them the opportunity to succeed and you give them the opportunity to work with high standard material or to be exposed, that generally they rise to the occasion. And even within the Des Moines Public Schools, we have a lot of diversity and a lot of English language learners, and it is incredible. They can come in from another country knowing not a word of English and how quickly that they can catch up. And so just seeing like what they're capable of, I think that there are a lot of areas within our education system where we don't have high enough standards for the kids and we don't expose them to all of the things that they could potentially be great at and could rise to the occasion in. That's
why school teachers are so great. You know, I always say school teachers are the people that see things in kids before the kids even see it. And I think you're right on when you say I think we limit our kids. We don't, the standard needs to be higher, and I think some people don't want to push. I'm a pusher, right? So, I mean, I'm a pusher. I push my kids to be the best. But it's neat to hear a teacher say, hey, you know what, we need to step up. And I think there are limits and things like that. But, we'll get there. You just have to keep talking and people will keep listening, I had down here, I wanted to talk about the challenges, but I don't really want to ask about any challenges. We kind of know in the system if you look at it, but I will say, what's the biggest thing you look forward to in the school? I mean, in the school year, you're going to start school here on Monday, and then the kids are going to come in on Wednesday. What's the most exciting thing for you going back to school?
Yeah. Just getting to meet the kids. It's crazy because you get your roster like a week or 2 before and you start seeing these names and, they have their pictures and you don't know them yet, but you know that by the end of the year, next year, you're going to know everything about them and you're going to have spent so much time with them and gone through so much with them. And so you're just kind of gearing up for that. You're like, I'm going to have 25 10-year-olds, walk into my classroom next week with different stories and different life experiences at just varying levels in their education or character development or whatever it is. And then you just get to interact with that. And it's the coolest thing in the world because as teachers, like kids want to tell you stuff and you get to know so much about their lives and who they are. And you get to inspire them. And I think that that's the neatest thing. You have that window into, you talked about earlier that teacher that you remember, your 4th grade teacher who made a difference for you. And most people that I know, they have someone like that who fundamentally shifted their life. Their teacher believed in them, or they called out greatness in them, or whatever it was, or maybe they were really just a listening ear. when they needed it. And so the idea of getting to be that makes me sincerely very excited to go to school.
Superhero. That's what we said. We said we got superheroes on here. You know, I listen to that and I think of Miss Foot. It's crazy. I think my wife believes that I remember Miss Foot because I thought she was hot. But who knows in the 4th grade, right? I mean, you don't know. She could have been like 85. I don't know. I mean, it was in the 4th grade. I'm just saying. She was still a beautiful woman. I knew that in the 4th grade. Anyway, so it's my little rant. So what? I remember Mrs. Foot. Miss Foot, if you're out. No, I'm just joking. But I hear you talk about that. And my son, he had a teacher growing here recently. He's a senior this year named Mrs. LeBron. And the thing that I always remembered about Mrs. LeBron is that the work that she put in after school. I mean, I could drive by the school at 8:30. She would be in her classroom. Whether that means taking things down, putting things up, getting prepared for, students. How do you find the time to teach and then work another job? I mean, that is a whole nother. Who does that? Superheroes? No.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of teachers do have like jobs on the side. I don't know once the school year starts how much that, I'll be continuing to do that. But during the summer, because I wasn't, teaching. But in general, I think that it's tough for teachers to find those boundaries of leaving their work at school. Like, we all know teaching isn't the same as other jobs. It's not easy to just walk away because we're talking about kids' lives here. And so there's just an element of that we know that we signed on for. But when I was going through university, I had a lot of professors that were like, you have to really try to find that work-life balance, and you have to know what you can actually affect and what you can't. And you're going to have to learn to just like let go of what is out of your control, because you're going to have maybe a kid with a really challenging story that you want to save them, or you want to take them, away from that situation. And sometimes that's not totally in your control. And so just kind of in all facets, I think about this going into my first year of teaching is it's going to demand a lot from me. But I just want to try to remember, I don't want to get burnout, especially my first year. And teacher burnout is such a real thing. And so I want to try to find ways to be so fully present when I'm at school, and then make sure that I'm maintaining the other aspects of my life when I'm not there, which I already know is going to be a difficult balance. But.
I like that. I will share with you. I tell people all the time, I've been in this building for almost 20 years. And I take pride in what I do. It means something to me. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I've been here so long is because I can detach when I leave here. And that doesn't mean that I'm not available if needed, but I do detach, and I do kind of release. And I know you're dealing with little people, right? And it's kind of hard to do, but that's good. Hopefully you're not there. Just keep loving what you do. That's the thing and the passion. And I will leave you with this. Because I could sit here and talk about what you're doing all day long. I'm not going to make you do that. I'm going to yell at Chad for a little while. We heard about the challenges. We told you that if there was something that you needed, we wanted to make sure here at Wilson Toyota that we supported that. And I don't know if you sent us a little list. And here's a great thing about Wilson Toyota. It's always been this way. It's why I won't leave. As soon as I had that conversation with him, I didn't even finish. He was like, just get it done, right? Just get it done. And to have our staff jump on, and, I had individuals saying, okay, I want to buy that. And I want to buy that book. We had one of our guys, Ryan Smalley, says, I'm buying the books, right? So it's kind of neat to do that. And, we can't do that for everybody, but if everybody just kind of chipped in and helped the teacher closest to you or whatever organizations, things like that, we wanted to make sure that we helped, right? So we took care of that list.
Yes. I appreciate it so much. You did.
we took care of that list, and that 5th grade school they're gonna have, and we want to know. We want to know, what you got going on. We want to, if we can be a part, we want to do that, and we so appreciate you and what you do, and continue to be a superhero. Right? That's the cool thing. So Moriah Long, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming on, and hey, good luck this year.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right, now I got to kick you off too.